In yet another major achievement, ISRO launches US ComSat Bluebird Block 2 mission from Sriharikota. Cabinet approves 3 new corridors as part of Delhi Metro's Phase 5A project. Corridors aims to reduce pollution and usage of fossil fuels. Kremlin says Russian President Putin briefed on US proposals for Ukraine peace plan. Zelensky seeks meeting with Trump to hammer out issues of territory. Good evening to all the viewers joining us at this evening broadcast. To begin with the latest. While adding yet another feather into the cap of India's space journey, Indian Space Research Organisation or ISRO successfully launched the Bluebird Block 2 communication satellite aboard its heavy lift LVM-3 rocket from Sriharikota. In this mission, LVM-3 placed the Bluebird Block 2 satellite into the low Earth orbit and is the largest commercial communication satellite deployed in low Earth orbit. The historic mission, under a commercial deal between ISRO's arm New Space India Limited and US firm AST Space Mobile, is also the heaviest payload launched by LVM-3 from the Indian soil. Take a listen.
LVM-3 Bahubali rocket M6 launch vehicle has successfully and precisely injected the Bluebird Block 2 communication satellite in the intended orbit. This is the first dedicated commercial launch for a customer from USA, that is AST Space Mobile.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi hailed the achievement in the space sector. On social media platform X, he said, and I quote him here, "A significant stride in India's space sector. The successful LVM-3 launch, placing the heaviest satellite ever launched from Indian soil, the spacecraft of USA, Bluebird Block 2, into its intended orbit, marks a proud milestone in India's space journey. It strengthens India's heavy lift launch capability and reinforces our growing role in global commercial launch market. This is also reflective of our efforts towards an Atmanirbhar Bharat. Congratulations to our hardworking space scientists and engineers. India continues to soar higher in the world of space." Unquote. In a series of tweets, he further said, "Powered by India's youth, our space program is getting more advanced and impactful. With LVM-3 demonstrating reliable heavy lift performance, we are strengthening the foundations for future missions such as Gaganyaan, expanding commercial launch services and deepening global partnerships. This increased capability and boost to self-reliance are wonderful for the coming generations." Unquote. Now, Union Cabinet, chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Wednesday, approved the Delhi Metro Rail Project Phase 5A, marking a significant expansion of the capital's mass rapid transit network. Announcing the Cabinet decision in New Delhi, Union Information and Broadcasting Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw said that the project will cover 3 major corridors and will further reduce carbon emissions.
आज कॉरिडोर्स अप्रूव हुए हैं। रामकृष्णा आश्रम आरके आश्रम मार्ग से इंद्रप्रस्थ 9.9 किलोमीटर्स at an investment of 9,570 crores. Aerocity to Airport Terminal 1, 2.3 kilometers, 1,419 crores. Tughlakabad to Kalindi Kunj, 3.9 kilometers, 1,024 crore rupees. इस एक्सपेंशन से दिल्ली में 33,000 tons CO2 emission every year will be saved.
The Union Minister also said that the Modi government has rolled out infrastructure projects worth nearly 5 lakh crore rupees during its third term.
पिछले कुछ महीनों में प्रधानमंत्री श्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी की इस ऐतिहासिक तीसरी टर्म में इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर पे इन्वेस्टमेंट बहुत सिग्निफिकेंट हुआ है और उसका लाभ हमारे मिडिल क्लासेस को, हमारे लो इनकम फैमिलीज को बहुत अच्छा उसका रिजल्ट मिल रहा है। आपके सामने पूरी डिटेल एयरपोर्ट, पोर्ट्स, हाईवे, रेलवे, मेट्रो, इंडस्ट्रियल कॉरिडोर्स, हाउसिंग, हाइड्रो पावर और रोपवेज करीब 12.5 लाख करोड़ रुपए का इन्वेस्टमेंट इन सब में जा रहा है, जिससे कि देश का फ्यूचर, देश के भविष्य की नींव बने, विकसित भारत की नींव बने।
December the 24th marks National Consumer Rights Day. This day is observed to spread awareness about the rights and responsibilities of the consumers. At an event in New Delhi, India's Minister of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, Prahlad Joshi, said that empowering every consumer and protecting their rights remains government's core objective. He stated that the Consumer Protection Act 2019 has strengthened the consumers through new legal provisions. The minister also noted that today's consumers are diverse and increasingly digital.
Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji had given a clarion call. Protection of consumer interest is a priority of the government, and New India will have best consumer practice and consumer prosperity. This year's theme, efficient and speedy disposal through digital justice, reflects our firm resolve to ensure that justice is timely accessible and responsive. The Consumer Protection Act 2019 replaces the erstwhile 1986 Act and is a landmark reform which emphasizes the consumer protection and consumer care.
In international updates, the European Union and some member states reacted sharply on Wednesday to US sanctions imposed on 5 European figures involved in regulating tech companies, including former European Commissioner Thierry Breton. They were responding after US State Department announced on Tuesday it would deny the visas to 5, accusing them of seeking to coerce American social media platforms into censoring viewpoints they oppose. France and Germany also condemned the news from Washington. A statement from the Commission said that they have requested clarifications from the US authorities and remained engaged. Breton, the former top tech regulator at the European Commission, often clashed with tech tycoons such as Elon Musk over their obligations to follow European Union rules. French President Emmanuel Macron also slammed a decision by the United States to impose visa bans on former European Union Commissioner Thierry Breton and 4 other European figures. In a social media post on X, Macron said that these measures amount to intimidation and coercion aimed at undermining European digital sovereignty. The Kremlin on Wednesday confirmed that President Vladimir Putin has been briefed on contacts with envoys of US President Donald Trump regarding American proposals for a possible Ukraine peace deal. Moscow, officials said, is now formulating its position.
Dmitriev has already had the opportunity to brief the president on the outcome of his trip in detail. Based on the information the head of the state received, we now intend to formulate our further position and resume contacts in the near future through the channels that are currently operating.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has called for a meeting with former US President Donald Trump to resolve sensitive issues in future peace deal with Russia, including territorial control, following the latest round of US-Ukraine talks. Speaking on Wednesday, Zelensky said Ukrainian and US delegations had moved closer to finalizing a 20-point plan during the talks held over the weekend in Miami. Ukraine has been urging Washington to revise a proposed peace plan that, in a draft released last month, reflected key Russian demands, including further territorial concessions, limits on Ukraine's military, and a pledge to forego future military alliances. And in Moscow, 3 people were killed in a bomb blast on Wednesday after 2 police officers approached a man acting suspiciously near the site where a senior general was killed 2 days ago by a car bomb that Russia said was planted by Ukrainian intelligence. A string of Russian military figures and high-profile supporters of the conflict have been assassinated. The Ukrainian military intelligence has said it was responsible for a number of attacks. Russia's State Investigative Committee said that when 2 police officers approached a man who was acting strangely, they were killed by an explosive device, adding that a 3rd person was also killed. It said it opened criminal cases under clauses dealing with the murder of law enforcement officers and illegal trafficking of bombs. Russia said it suspected Ukraine was behind the killing. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov met his Syrian counterpart Assad al-Shaibani in Moscow on Wednesday. Earlier, it was reported that the country's foreign and defense ministers met Russian President Vladimir Putin in Moscow on Tuesday to discuss expanding military, political and economic cooperation with a focus on strategic collaboration in defense industries. Moving on, a Libyan delegation visited the site of a private jet crash near Turkish capital city of Ankara that killed Libya's Army Chief of Staff Mohammed Ali Ahmed al-Haddad and several others. Accompanied by Turkish security forces, the delegation inspected the wreckage at the crash location. Turkish authorities said that the jet reported an electrical failure and requested an emergency landing shortly before going down on Tuesday. Turkey's Interior Minister also said that the voice recorder and black box was found after the crash. Libya's internationally recognized government confirmed that Army Chief, members of his entourage and 3 crew members were also killed in the crash. Military officials from Thailand and Cambodia began talks on Wednesday, days after the neighbors agreed to discuss resumption of a ceasefire after 16 days of fierce border clashes that have killed at least 86 people. The talks come 2 days after a special meeting in Kuala Lumpur of Southeast Asian foreign ministers convened to try to salvage a truce first brokered by ASEAN chair, Malaysia and US President Donald Trump after a previous round of clashes in July. Thai Defence Ministry spokesman has said on Wednesday that the meeting of the General Border Committee would last for 3 days and could further pave the way for an agreement. The talks were held at a border checkpoint towards the southern end of their 817 kilometers frontier. The meeting is the most significant step since fighting re-erupted and follows separate unsuccessful efforts by Malaysia, China and the United States to bring the 2 countries to table. Time for a short break, but still to come on the other side. We'll get you all the latest on how the world is gearing up to celebrate Christmas 2025. And defending champions Ivory Coast set to face Mozambique in their AFCON opener.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the economic brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
Welcome back after that short break. Let's continue. Well, Christmas festivities have taken over the globe as people across the world are celebrating the day with joy and cheerfulness. Crowds have surged around Oxford Circus as last-minute Christmas shoppers flooded into central London, weaving through packed streets beneath festive lights. In Tokyo, a diver in an aquarium took to the water to feed the penguins at Sunshine Aquarium donning Santa Claus costumes. Wearing the costume over a wetsuit, the staff member swam alongside the penguins, delighting the visitors. And Christmas vibe has also taken over Germany, where more than 28,000 German soccer fans came together to sing Christmas carols at FC Union Berlin Stadium, expressing their joy for the festive season. And Christmas lights have also illuminated the old city of Syria's Damascus with joy and festivity. Government forces are on patrols across the city to ensure tight security protocols amid concerns from the past Christmas. On the other hand, Bangkok is also glowing with festive cheer as crowds flock to downtown shopping districts to see elaborate Christmas displays featuring artificial snow, lights and massive trees. The Sacred Heart Cathedral in northeast India's Assam, Dibrugarh, which is one of the oldest Catholic churches built in the year 1931, is likely to witness its final Christmas celebration this year before being demolished due to structural deterioration. The iconic 94-year-old cathedral, renowned for its rare and spectacular mosaic paintings, has served as a spiritual anchor for the Catholic community in Upper Assam for nearly a century. On Christmas Eve, DD India correspondent from Dibrugarh, Subina Roy, brings to you a report on the legacy of this heritage church.
The Sacred Heart Cathedral at Kholihamari in Dibrugarh is the second oldest church in the entire northeast region after Shillong. With a sitting capacity of 1,500, the cathedral has long been a landmark in Dibrugarh's architectural landscape. The cathedral also holds historical importance as it houses the tomb of Father Leo Piasky, a Polish Salesian missionary who played a pivotal role in establishing the Catholic mission in Upper Assam during the early 20th century. Father Piasky, who passed away in 1957, rests on the epistle site of the church, and his legacy remains deeply embedded in the region's Catholic history. The interiors are adorned with mosaic paintings depicting the crucifixion of Jesus Christ, followed by his resurrection, which have defined the cathedral's aesthetic beauty.
The speciality of this church is it's a very old church, but the most important part that helps us understand the speciality of it is the mosaic of this church. So there are few mosaic we have around here. We have 4 mosaics basically. And these mosaics are built in such a manner that it is not done with paint, it's not done with color, it's not done with brush. Instead, with the chips, all these mosaics are made.
However, the passage of nearly a century has taken a toll on the structure of the building, with visible cracks in the walls, ceilings and roofs, rendering the building unsafe. This condition of the church has made replacement necessary despite the deep emotional attachment of the community that holds for the historic building.
Seeing the condition of the building, we see the pieces of ceilings falling down, and it can be treacherous if it falls on the worshippers, and therefore we are taking precautions so that nothing happens to the worshippers. And one important step that we are taking is to build the new cathedral, and that will be able to hold nearly 3,000 worshippers. That is our plan. And at the moment, we have started serious discussions about the construction of the new cathedral.
The second oldest church of Northeast region, which is in Dibrugarh, is on the verge of demolition because of its dilapidated condition. This age-old church, which was built in the pre-independence era, needs a fresh lease of innovation and preservation so that we can preserve this church for the future generations. With DD Dibrugarh team, Subina Roy, DD India.
And now to get you a glimpse of festive joy, I'm joined by DD India's Dibyendu Mondal, who's joining us from New Delhi, and I'm also joined by Shishir Shelar, who's joining us straight from Mumbai. Good evening to both of you. Both of you are tracking the festive joy. First of all, coming on to you, Dibyendu, how is Delhi gearing up to celebrate the Christmas ahead of its 25th of day celebrations on its eve today?
Well, you see, Deepika, Delhi is geared up to celebrate its Christmas. Of course, it's Christmas Eve. We see people thronging into this Sacred Heart Cathedral here in central Delhi from across different parts of the city. If I can ask my camera person to pan and show you the kind of festivities, the kind of people that have been coming here since the evening that we have been here at this particular church here in Connaught Place, which is at the heart of Delhi. Of course, people from across different religion, people from across different social strata of the society. You see small children, many of whom have dressed up with the Santa Claus costume. Some even wearing these glasses that depicts the Christmas fervor here in Delhi.
Right.
Of course, Deepika, the mood. Of course, the Delhi police has also put up strict barricading across different parts of the city, because given the fact that a large number of people do come out to celebrate Christmas in the national capital of India. So therefore all arrangements have also been taken care of by the security officials. But the people are coming out of their homes. They'll of course be going for their own respective parties.
Yes, that's very important. Security arrangements are also in place
in Connaught Place.
In Delhi. Let's now go across to Mumbai, where Shishir is there. Shishir, tell us how the Mumbai cars are gearing up for the festival.
Well, absolutely. It's a Christmas Eve and Mumbai is enveloped in Christmas Eve. All the major churches in Mumbai witness a large devotees turnout even since evening we have seen here. Still we have few more hours left, but in spite of that we have seen a huge number of people actually gathered at the major churches across Mumbai. Right now I am in Mumbai, Mahim's church, which is one of the important church also, and let me show you the visuals that how people have started arriving here to secure their seat inside the church, because once we'll close towards 12 o'clock, we'll see that the more crowd will come here, and that's the reason the youth, the people, the devotees actually is coming in a large number here. As you see that the entire church premises have been lit up here. A special Christmas tree has also been made here. People actually clicking photographs and creating their memories on this festive occasion here. Well, we know that the festival of love, peace, harmony and salvation, the Christmas season, that's the reason we have seen the huge turnout, not just the Christian community also, but Mumbai. Let me tell you that Mumbai is a melting pot, and that's the reason people from across the region actually celebrate this festival with the same joy and the humanity here. And that's the reason on the Mumbai streets, probably on the Christmas Eve, Mumbai is quite crowded. But today, being a Christmas Eve, we have seen that the Mumbai is more crowded here. People on the road here celebrating the Christmas Eve, and that's the reason special arrangements have been done by the churches. We've been told that a special midnight mass have been organized in churches. The traditional carol singing actually is filling the air around the church areas actually, and attracting more people to come in a large number here. Apart from that, some of the churches have also organized special messages. The leaders of the churches, the father will give message here, and it will continue throughout the night here. And again in the morning prayers will also continue at most of the churches, and that's the reason special arrangements have been done from the by the church authorities as well. But not just church authorities, even the Mumbai authorities, the Mumbai civic authorities have also been ramped up to provide quite a good experience to Mumbai.
All right, thank you so much, Shishir, for joining us and getting us the live, and thank you so much, Dibyendu, for joining us and getting us the live visuals, not only showing the celebrations, but also how security has been beefed up across major cities ahead of the Christmas midnight mass. And now let's get you all the latest from the world of sports, to begin with soccer. In the Africa Cup of Nations 2025, defending champions Ivory Coast is set to face Mozambique in Marrakech on Wednesday. Ivory Coast held a training session ahead of their opening encounter. Ivory Coast are in Group F alongside Mozambique, Cameroon and Gabon. Mozambique striker Dominguez stressed the importance of the first game and hoped his team would get off to a good start.
The first game, I think the first game is always, all of the games are important, but the first one is the most important one. And if we can get a positive result, it's gonna be amazing for us because it's gonna give us more hope.
And Delhi Capitals organised the Inter-School T20 DC School Cup to unearth the city's next cricketing talent. Speaking to DD India correspondent Narayan Singh, the Chief Executive Officer of Delhi Capitals, Sanjay Gupta, said the focus is on empowering youngsters and building a strong pathway from grassroots to elite cricket.
Delhi Capitals organised the Delhi Capitals School Cup, and the final took place at the Arun Jaitley Stadium, and the tournament was won by the Modern School. Sir, a fantastic tournament. It started in 2012 and it's been a long journey for the tournament. So what are the basic reason behind this tournament to conduct?
The whole idea was that we are a team from Delhi. And this was our opportunity and chance to really give these kids, the boys and girls coming out of school from Delhi, an opportunity to experience cricket at the highest level. And that was the idea. We wanted to bring it back. We took a little bit of a break during the COVID time, but now we are back, bigger, stronger, and even better. 18 schools participated this year. It's incredibly great to see the kids come to the Arun Jaitley Stadium, play on the same pitch where some of the great Indian players have played, some key moments, key matches have happened. And just to see their excitement, the joy on their faces and the incredible experience that they've had today is really overwhelming for us.
So we saw a wonderful performance by the young cricketers here from the schools. So do you have some plans to scout these wonderful cricketers, to take them, and do you have plans to frame them in the main team also?
Yes, exactly, that's the plan. We are working very closely with the DDCA. This is a DDCA recognized tournament, and the idea is that we want to keep looking at future talent for the sport. And we've seen some incredible boys and girls come out and play over the last 2 weeks, and we do hope that we stay in touch and keep an eye on them, and as they blossom into better players.
So we also saw a change in guard in the WPL, Delhi Capitals changing and making Jamima the captain. So what was the thought process behind that?
I think it was great to see Jemmy involved into what she's become as a player. She was our first pick in the first WPL auction 3 years back, and she's been our vice captain ever since. She's just an incredible person. She's a great talent. We've all seen that, but she's also a great leader. She just brings out the energy and the best in the people around her, and I think this is a fantastic transition for her and very well deserved. And we're really looking forward to our first game where Jemmy really comes onto the pitch as the captain for the Delhi Capitals.
So definitely we saw a change in guard at the WPL with the Delhi Capitals, and hoping that this change in guard will be very fruitful for the team. And also the way the tournament, the Delhi Capitals School Cup took place, definitely a futuristic one, hoping that we will see more young players coming from this tournament and playing for the top tier cricket. With camera person Ashish, Narayan Singh, DD India, Delhi.
And that's all for this edition of DD India Live. But do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code to download it now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Deepika, and from all of us here in New Delhi, thank you so much for watching DD India Live. Namaskar.